March in Colorado brought with it an unpredictable mix of gentle sunshine and cold mountain winds, whispering through the trees of a small, sleepy town nestled deep within the Rockies. In this peaceful town lived Jake Thompson, a quiet, reflective 38-year-old whose greatest companion in life was Luna, his loyal and devoted German shepherd. Luna wasn't just a dog. She was family. At 11 years old, her muzzle had turned silver, yet her dark eyes remained bright and wise, watching over Jake as she had faithfully done for years. They'd spent countless hours hiking through rugged mountain trails together, each step strengthening an unspoken bond between man and dog, forging memories that would remain etched in Jake's heart forever. Luna had always been Jake's protector, his confidant during life's storms, a comforting presence during lonely evenings. After a difficult breakup a few years earlier, Luna had silently laid her head in Jake's lap, patiently absorbing the quiet tears he shed, never judging, always understanding. But one chilly March morning, everything changed. Luna, usually the first awake, nudging Jake with a gentle nose to start their morning ritual, didn't move from her bed. Jake noticed something wrong immediately. The labored breathing, the dimness in her eyes, a heartbreaking sight that pierced him to the core. Desperately, he rushed Luna to the town's small veterinary clinic, a modest building tucked away near the edge of the forest. Its waiting room was quiet, filled only with the soft ticking of an old clock and the faint smell of disinfectant, a stark reminder of vulnerability and the fleeting nature of life. Inside the examination room, Jake stood anxiously as Dr. Emma Carter, a kind but weary-eyed veterinarian, carefully examined Luna. Her gentle hands moved over Luna's frail body, her expression solemn. Jake watched her closely, his heart aching, his mind racing with fears he wasn't yet ready to face. Dr. Carter turned to Jake, speaking softly, her voice filled with compassion but also deep sadness. "I'm sorry, Jake. Luna's body is exhausted. Her breathing is weak. She's fighting, but honestly, I fear there's little we can do at this stage." Jake's world tilted sideways. Tears welled in his eyes, spilling silently down his cheeks as he reached out to touch Luna's head, her fur soft beneath trembling fingers. "I can't lose you, Luna," Jake whispered, his voice breaking, desperately trying to hold on to hope. "We've still got mountains to explore, trails we haven't seen. Please, just give me a sign. I need you." As his voice trailed into silence, Jake leaned closer, gently pressing his forehead against Luna's fur. Memories flooded through him. The countless hikes along rugged trails beneath Colorado's wide skies, Luna bounding joyfully ahead before pausing to glance back, as if reassuring Jake she'd always wait for him. Evenings spent curled by the fireplace, Luna resting at his feet, content just to share his presence. The nights she'd comforted him, sensing sadness before even he realized it himself. He could hear her faint breathing now, fragile as a whisper, yet still rhythmic, like the gentle beat of her heart he'd come to know as well as his own. Then, just as Jake closed his eyes in painful resignation, Luna did something unexpected. A slight movement, barely noticeable at first, a faint twitch of her paw. Jake's breath caught sharply in his throat. He lifted his head, heart racing. Luna's eyes, dull moments before, seemed suddenly brighter, as if somehow responding to his plea. Dr. Carter, noticing the subtle shift, stepped closer, her brows knitted in curious wonder. "Did you see that?" Jake asked, a hint of urgency in his voice, hope flickering like a tiny flame. "Yes," Dr. Carter said slowly, her professional skepticism gently yielding to cautious curiosity. "She moved, slightly, but she moved." Jake's hand trembled as he gently held Luna's paw, feeling the warmth radiating through her fragile pads. Luna, with great effort, managed to softly squeeze his hand, a gesture that spoke volumes beyond words. In that quiet, heart-wrenching moment within the cold walls of the veterinary clinic, Jake realized something profound. Luna was still fighting, not for herself, but for him, for the bond they'd shared throughout their lives, a bond built on trust, loyalty, and an unwavering love that no illness or age could easily defeat. The journey ahead would not be easy, and Jake knew that hope was delicate, but it was there, undeniably alive. Luna's quiet strength, her love for Jake, had surpassed even the veterinarian's expectations. As Jake sat by Luna's side, gently stroking her fur, he whispered softly into her ear, "We'll get through this together, girl. You've always been my hero. Now let me be yours." And there, amidst uncertainty, surrounded by memories and endless love, the flame of hope quietly burned brighter. As the quiet moments passed in the small veterinary clinic, Jake remained steadfast beside Luna. Her breathing was shallow but steady, and each subtle rise and fall of her chest felt like a small miracle. Dr. Carter watched silently, her compassionate gaze moving between the devoted man and the brave German shepherd, sensing something extraordinary was unfolding before her eyes. Jake gently stroked Luna's fur, feeling each strand pass beneath his fingertips, triggering a cascade of vivid memories. His thoughts traveled back to their earliest days together, to the bright spring morning 11 years ago, when Luna first entered his life. Just a playful puppy with oversized paws, full of boundless energy and curiosity. Back then, Jake had just moved to Colorado, seeking a fresh start after his father's passing. Luna had been his answer to grief, warmth, joy, companionship, all bundled into one lively, furry friend who quickly became the center of his universe. From their very first mountain hike together, Luna had eagerly bounded ahead, her youthful enthusiasm pulling Jake forward through life, lifting his spirits, and showing him beauty he might have otherwise overlooked. "Remember our first hike, Luna?" Jake whispered softly, smiling faintly through the pain. "You found that tiny creek hidden behind the pines. I still see you splashing in the water, soaking me completely, wagging your tail as if you discovered paradise." As if hearing and understanding every word, Luna's paw moved once again, her frail but determined spirit communicating clearly. She remembered, too. The veterinarian, quietly checking Luna's heartbeat, exchanged an amazed glance with Jake. "Her heart is steady," Dr. Carter said gently, surprised by Luna's newfound resilience. "Jake, she's responding to you. Your voice, your touch. She's fighting because you're here." Jake nodded slowly, absorbing the words. He understood now more deeply than ever before. Luna's strength was not only physical. It flowed from their powerful emotional connection, from years of unconditional loyalty and shared experiences. "I've always depended on her," Jake said softly to Dr. Carter, his voice choked with gratitude and love. "But maybe now, for the first time, she's depending on me." As the late afternoon sunlight filtered gently through the blinds, casting warm, golden streaks across the sterile floor, Jake reflected on all the other moments Luna had proven herself extraordinary. He remembered vividly the night a violent thunderstorm shook their house to its foundation, lightning illuminating the darkened Colorado skies. Luna, fearless and protective, stayed close to Jake, calming him more than he ever calmed her. He smiled, recalling how she'd quietly laid her head on his chest, patiently listening to his heartbeat, silently assuring him they would weather that storm, together. Another memory surfaced. A day he'd slipped and twisted his ankle high in the mountains. Luna had stayed by his side through hours of pain, barking to guide rescuers to their location, never once leaving his side, guarding him faithfully until they were both safely home. "Now it's my turn to help you, girl," Jake whispered with deep conviction, gently kissing the top of Luna's head. "I won't let you face this alone. Not now, not ever." At that very moment, Luna slowly raised her head, just barely, her eyes blinking wearily but shining again with unmistakable life. The gesture was fragile yet immensely powerful, a testament to the profound bond of trust between dog and human, a bond that defied logic, illness, even time itself. Dr. Carter, visibly moved, whispered softly, "Jake, this might be the smallest sign, but I've seen dogs like Luna recover in ways we couldn't medically explain. It's as if they choose not to leave yet. They fight because of the love they're surrounded by." Jake's heart surged with cautious optimism. The battle was far from over, but Luna was clearly sending a message. She wasn't giving up yet, and neither could he. With renewed determination, Jake carefully wrapped his arms around Luna, gently supporting her frail body, whispering soothing reassurances. "You're the strongest soul I know, Luna. We'll climb this mountain, too." As if responding to his promise, Luna softly licked Jake's hand. A tender, familiar gesture that instantly melted his heart, filling him with hope. Her spirit, fragile yet fierce, shone brightly, illuminating even the darkest shadows in the room. As the day drew to a close and twilight painted the clinic windows with gentle shades of violet and orange, Luna finally rested her head, breathing a little easier. Jake stayed faithfully by her side, knowing their journey was just beginning, yet profoundly aware that the strength of their bond was far greater than any prognosis. Together, man and dog had faced countless challenges, and now, amidst the soft hum of medical equipment and the comforting whispers of hope, they prepared to face perhaps their greatest test yet, side by side, hearts beating in perfect harmony. Because sometimes, love and devotion can defy even fate itself. The evening settled quietly over the Colorado mountains, casting a calming darkness across the sleepy town. Inside the veterinary clinic, lights dimmed softly, creating an intimate atmosphere as Jake remained unwaveringly at Luna's side. Dr. Carter had offered them privacy, sensing the delicate magic unfolding between man and dog, stepping away momentarily but ready to respond at a moment's notice. In the stillness, Jake gently continued to caress Luna's fur, each touch a silent promise that he'd never leave her side. As he listened to the steady rhythm of her breathing, still weak, yet remarkably persistent, Jake felt gratitude washing over him. Every subtle rise and fall of Luna's chest was another precious moment they shared, another heartbeat closer to hope. His mind drifted again to the countless adventures they'd shared in their beloved Colorado mountains. He thought about their favorite spot atop a gentle ridge overlooking the valley, where they'd sit quietly together, Luna's fur warmed by the sun, Jake's heart calmed by the comforting rhythm of Luna's breath beside him. In those moments, the world seemed perfectly balanced, peaceful and timeless. "You've always given me strength, Luna," Jake whispered, his voice soft yet filled with determination. "From our first hike until today, you've been my compass, my friend, my family. No matter how tough life got, you've never let me down. Now it's my turn to be here for you." As if understanding every word, Luna shifted slightly, nestling her head closer to Jake's hand, her gentle breathing brushing against his fingertips. Her subtle responses sparked an indescribable joy within him, a feeling powerful enough to momentarily eclipse the uncertainty ahead. Dr. Carter returned quietly, carefully carrying a soft blanket she gently placed around Luna's body. Her eyes met Jake's, conveying understanding, empathy, and respect. "She's more stable now," Dr. Carter said softly. "Your presence, your bond, Jake. It's making all the difference. I believe Luna feels your strength, and it's helping her find her own." Jake nodded, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears of gratitude and cautious optimism. "She's always known how much I need her," Jake said, his voice thick with emotion. "I guess it took this moment for me to realize just how much she needs me, too." As night deepened, Jake and Luna remained closely intertwined, their connection palpable. The clinic, once cold and clinical, now felt warmer, filled with tenderness, hope, and a quiet strength born from love. Hours passed slowly, and Jake dozed off momentarily, his head resting beside Luna's paw. In his dreams, he saw Luna running joyfully again, young and strong, racing across fields of tall grass beneath an endless blue sky. The image was so vivid, so comforting, that when he awoke, he felt a new surge of optimism coursing through his veins. He opened his eyes to find Luna awake, quietly gazing at him. Her eyes, clearer and brighter than before, sparkled softly with recognition and affection. Jake felt his heart swell with renewed hope, amazed by the quiet strength radiating from Luna, despite her condition. "You're incredible," Jake whispered, gently stroking her ears. "You've fought so hard, Luna, but we still have mountains to climb, trails to discover. Don't give up now, girl." Then, something beautiful happened. With immense effort and determination, Luna slowly lifted her head, shakily, but unmistakably stronger. Her dark eyes, filled with warmth and loyalty, met Jake's in a moment of pure connection. Her soft whimper, quiet yet unmistakable, echoed through Jake's heart, a sound that spoke clearly, saying, "I'm still here." Dr. Carter, who had quietly approached during this poignant moment, watched in awe. A gentle smile crossed her face as she whispered softly, voice filled with warmth, "Jake, this isn't just medical. It's deeper. Luna is showing us something incredible. The healing power of love and loyalty." Jake gently pressed his forehead against Luna's, tears streaming softly down his face. Tears of relief, gratitude, and admiration for the brave dog who had once again chosen him over surrender. "I promise," Jake whispered, emotion trembling in every word. "I'll stay right by your side, every step of the way. You've always taught me that together we can overcome anything, and I believe you." Luna sighed softly, leaning into Jake's touch, drawing strength from their unbreakable bond. It was a moment both simple and profoundly powerful, evidence of the extraordinary strength a loyal heart could summon. As dawn gradually approached, spreading gentle hues of pink and orange across the Colorado sky, a soft glow filled the room. Luna, breathing calmly and steadily, finally drifted into peaceful rest, her strength slowly returning. Jake, exhausted yet deeply moved by the night's powerful journey, knew their path forward remained uncertain. But one thing was unmistakably clear. Together, they had already overcome incredible odds. With a gentle voice filled with unwavering conviction, Jake quietly promised Luna, "We're going to see our mountain again, Luna. And next time we do, I'll remind you of this night, how your courage, your strength, gave me back hope." As morning sunlight gently painted the room in golden warmth, the promise between man and dog became a quiet pledge to life, resilience, and love. Because sometimes, the strongest medicine of all is simply knowing you're not facing the battle alone. As morning sunlight gently streamed into the small veterinary clinic, Jake slowly awoke, still seated beside Luna. His eyes immediately went to her, relieved to see the peaceful rise and fall of her chest, slightly stronger than before. He felt a surge of gratitude, as if overnight, something profound had shifted, a quiet miracle taking shape within the bond they shared. Dr. Carter quietly entered the room, holding a warm cup of coffee for Jake, her expression cautious yet hopeful. "Luna looks stronger today," she said gently, kneeling down to check Luna's heartbeat. "Her breathing has improved slightly, and her heart is stable. Honestly, Jake, medically, I wasn't expecting this, but love often defies science." Jake nodded, slowly sipping the coffee, warmth spreading through him. He looked thoughtfully at Luna, who now rested comfortably, her face peaceful, her body relaxed. Her fur, soft beneath his fingertips, reminded him vividly of better times. The adventures they'd shared, the joy they'd experienced simply being together. Determined to support her recovery, Jake stayed close, whispering encouragement throughout the day, reminding her of all the beauty they'd experienced together. The vibrant mountain meadows filled with wildflowers, the silent majesty of snow-capped peaks, the calming sound of rivers flowing gently through the valleys they explored side by side. "I remember our last hike," Jake said softly, emotion coloring his voice. "The sunset was incredible, Luna. Golden and orange streaks across the horizon. You sat beside me, peaceful, as if you knew exactly how special that moment was. That night, I promised myself I'd always appreciate you more. Maybe I never said it enough, but you've given me a lifetime of happiness, girl. And I'm not ready for our journey to end yet." As if his words carried powerful energy, Luna opened her eyes again, fixing her gaze steadily upon Jake. The depth of love and trust reflected there was unmistakable, silently reassuring him that she was still fighting. For him, for them, for the promise of another adventure. Dr. Carter, noticing this silent exchange, smiled warmly. She gently placed a comforting hand on Jake's shoulder. "It's remarkable, Jake. You and Luna, your bond, is giving her the will to fight harder than I've ever seen. Keep talking to her, remind her why it matters. The strength you're sharing now could make all the difference." Inspired by Dr. Carter's words, Jake resolved that Luna's recovery would be their next adventure. Over the following hours and days, he stayed devotedly by her side, sharing stories, memories, and plans for their future. Each whispered promise breathing strength into Luna's fragile body. And little by little, Luna fought back. Each tiny improvement, a deeper breath, a stronger gaze, a gentle wag of her tail, became monumental. Even Dr. Carter marveled at Luna's resilience, increasingly convinced that the impossible was becoming possible, driven by love. On the fourth day, a particularly sunny March afternoon, Jake decided Luna deserved fresh air. With Dr. Carter's careful assistance, Jake gently carried Luna outside, laying her softly on a blanket in a sunny patch of grass just behind the clinic. Immediately, something shifted within Luna. She inhaled deeply, the familiar scent of mountain air invigorating her senses. Her eyes brightened, gazing upwards at the blue sky, remembering clearly all the times they had chased the breeze together, running through fields, savoring life's simplest pleasures. Then, astonishing both Jake and Dr. Carter, Luna slowly attempted to rise onto her front paws. Her body trembled with effort, but determination shone brightly in her eyes. Jake's heart raced, hope surging through him, tears forming once again, but this time, tears of joy. "You've got this, Luna," he whispered passionately, gently steadying her body. "We're going to stand together again, girl. I believe in you." Slowly, carefully, Luna found her balance, standing shakily, but undeniably on her own strength. Dr. Carter watched in astonishment, softly saying, This is nothing short of extraordinary, Jake." Luna's gentle tail wagged slowly, a clear sign of happiness, pride, and love. Her own silent way of telling Jake she was not giving up, and neither should he. In that powerful moment beneath the open Colorado sky, Jake realized something deeply profound. Their bond, forged through years of companionship and unconditional devotion, had given Luna the strength she needed to defy the odds. She had chosen hope over surrender, inspired by his unwavering presence and belief in her. With Luna standing beside him, fragile but steady, Jake wrapped his arms around her gently, whispering softly, "You're the bravest soul I know, Luna. You've shown me the real meaning of strength. Together, we'll heal. Together we'll recover. And together we'll climb mountains again." As Jake held her closely, Luna gently leaned into him, eyes softly closing in contentment, feeling his heartbeat, trusting completely in the promise he made. Dr. Carter watched from a respectful distance, deeply moved, witnessing a story she knew she'd carry forever. Proof that love and devotion could transcend medical explanations, and that sometimes miracles appeared in the gentle bond between a loyal dog and the human whose heart she called home. And the days and weeks that followed Luna's remarkable breakthrough, something truly extraordinary happened. Luna, once frail and weakened by illness, slowly but steadily regained her strength. Each morning, Jake and Luna walked gently together outside the clinic, the bright Colorado sunshine warming their hearts, renewing their spirits, and reaffirming their unbreakable bond. Dr. Carter, amazed by Luna's progress, frequently shook her head with quiet wonder, acknowledging openly to Jake, "Jake, I've treated many animals over the years, but Luna, she's shown me something rare and precious. Medicine and science are powerful, but love, devotion, and companionship can truly defy every expectation." Jake smiled, deeply moved, looking down at Luna, whose bright eyes and gentle smile seemed to agree wholeheartedly. Each small improvement Luna made felt monumental. From shaky first steps outside the clinic to slightly longer walks in the fresh mountain air, Jake celebrated every milestone. And Luna, always in tune with Jake's emotions, shared fully in his joy, her tail wagging softly, her eyes glowing with quiet pride. Eventually, after weeks of patient care, Luna's strength returned to the point where she could finally go home. On a beautiful afternoon, Jake helped Luna into his truck, feeling deeply grateful as they drove away from the clinic that had witnessed their greatest struggle and their greatest triumph. Arriving back at their cozy house on the outskirts of the small Colorado town, Jake gently lifted Luna out, setting her carefully onto familiar ground. Luna stood firmly now, eyes sparkling with recognition and excitement. She glanced toward their favorite mountain trail, visible in the distance, the path where so many beautiful memories had begun. Jake smiled knowingly, kneeling down beside Luna, stroking her soft fur lovingly. "Soon," he whispered tenderly, "we'll climb those trails again, one step at a time, just like we've always done." And Luna, gently nuzzling her head against Jake's chest, agreed with a soft sigh, content in the safety of his embrace. Over the following weeks, Luna continued to improve beyond anyone's expectations. Friends and neighbors, hearing the story of her remarkable recovery, stopped by frequently to see her, inspired by the strength of her spirit, touched by the power of their bond. Then, one bright morning in early May, Jake knew it was finally time. The sky was clear and vibrant blue, the air sweet with the fresh scent of spring. Jake gently placed Luna's favorite hiking harness around her now stronger body. Luna, sensing exactly what was happening, wagged her tail joyfully, excitement radiating from every part of her being. Together, they began a slow, gentle hike along their beloved trail, the first since Luna's illness. Jake walked patiently at Luna's pace, savoring each moment. Luna, careful yet confident, walked proudly beside him, her energy increasing steadily, her eyes reflecting pure happiness. Eventually, they reached their cherished spot atop the ridge, overlooking the valley below. Jake sat down slowly, Luna settling comfortably beside him, both breathing deeply, soaking in the peaceful beauty around them. In the calm silence of the mountains, Jake gently placed his hand on Luna's soft, warm fur, heart swelling with gratitude and love. "Look at this view, Luna," he whispered softly, his voice filled with emotion. "We made it. You showed me what true strength looks like. You taught me never to give up, no matter how dark things get." Luna turned, gently licking Jake's hand, eyes filled with deep understanding, silently assuring him that she'd always known they would be here again, together. Sitting quietly on that sunlit ridge, Jake knew profoundly that Luna had changed his life forever. Their journey had been challenging, emotional, yet immensely beautiful, a powerful reminder of the strength found in companionship, love, and unwavering loyalty. He gazed lovingly at Luna, softly speaking the heartfelt truth he had discovered through their journey. "You've given me a lifetime of lessons, Luna, but the greatest is how love, real love, can overcome everything, even when things seem impossible." As if fully comprehending his words, Luna rested her head gently upon Jake's lap, eyes slowly closing, perfectly content. Jake carefully placed his hand over her heart, feeling its strong, steady beat, the sound of courage, resilience, and love. They sat together quietly for a long time, feeling the warm mountain breeze gently brush their faces, promising them many more adventures ahead. Jake knew their future was precious, that every remaining moment together was a gift beyond measure. In that peaceful moment, high in the Colorado mountains, Jake finally understood what Luna had always silently taught him. That true love, the kind shared between a devoted dog and her faithful human, can not only heal, it can inspire miracles. Because in the end, it's not just about the mountains you climb together, it's about who's beside you every step of the way. And in Jake's heart, he knew Luna would always be there, his best friend, his protector, his greatest teacher, forever.